What's up, everybody? All my internet friends around the world. Welcome to Felony Talk, the only place on the internet you can get all your cyber cult news from a guy and his cat. We got a loaded show today. We had a good episode that was planned and scheduled. What's up, Broken Hip? I was gonna do a whole episode on the Allies of Humanity. I've kind of mapped out their hierarchy on UFO Twitter. I had a little bit of a negative experience with them in the last space. Jay just came in, was flustering O'Leary. We're gonna go over all that stuff, and that was gonna be the whole episode was the Allies of Humanity, and just kind of a deep dive on who these people are, their message, all their YouTube stuff, and then a podcast came across on X, came across my feed, and it was a podcast Coley UAP on YouTube, and they were having a person named Sarah Adams on, and this was one of the ufology figures, I guess you could call them. She's a psychic healer. The Cambians seem to have run-ins with in the past. We're gonna show some of that. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna listen to both sides of it and talk about, is Cambian in the wrong here? Did Cambian do anything wrong? Is this just part of the internet? What is going on with all these claims of cyber harassment? Because it seems that all of Cambian's enemies from the past are crawling out of the woodwork to take this opportunity to try to bury the guy, pile on, cancel him, basically, is what I would say. And some would say it's deserved. I have friends that think the Cambian has crossed the line a lot in these situations, and we're gonna go over that stuff, and everyone's free to have their own opinion on this stuff, and I'm gonna try to be really careful on both topics. I don't want to be mislabeling this organization known as the Allies of Humanity with that C word unfairly. People have a right to decide if this is a cyber cult, if this is just an organization of people trying to get out the information about, the aliens and the future of humanity. Because to a lot of normies, this Allies of Humanity stuff seems kind of wacky and crazy, but it fits right in on UFO Twitter. So I'm gonna look into more of are these people? Is the criticism that comes them towards them fair? And there are some big names that are getting involved with this group known as the Allies of Humanity. But we're gonna go over that later. What's up, Jay? Just. We're gonna go over that later. First off, we're gonna get into the Cambian stuff. That's what I wanted to cover first. That was what was fresh on my mind when I started getting everything going. And what we're gonna do first is jump over on YouTube, and I'm gonna show you guys how Cambian cross paths with this Sarah Adams person first. Let's jump over to the lab. Oh, appreciate everyone jumping in already. We already got people coming in. It should be a good episode. So, anybody who hasn't subscribed, please go do so. My last numbers on my last video are doing really good. I had a couple bigger accounts retweet it, so I really appreciate that because that really helps boost my numbers when bigger accounts retweet me on X and stuff. My X account has been held pretty small, so a lot of content creation is getting your videos out. People need to see them to watch them. They need to know you're making videos to watch your videos, and it seems to be a way that the UFO Twitter gatekeepers kind of control things is by keeping you small, keeping you suppressed. So let's see, pull this up. This is my introduction to Sarah Adams, and this was Cambian coverage. This is Cambian covering this woman, this psychic healer, allegedly, and what you're going to see here later in this Holy UFO podcast, her claims are kind of wild. I'm not sure if all of her claims are fair because I watched a lot of these episodes of Truth Seekers on her, and she's making claims that Cambian said this and Cambian told his audience to do this that I don't recall any of them. But there are times when I think Cambian has crossed the line. And okay, this is the video that Cambian came across. I think put him, dead set on Sarah Adams, and this is what kind of wrecked her career. You're gonna see in this other podcast. She seems to be pretty upset about this. Let's go ahead and play it.
You're gonna if you kill me, I don't know what to do!
So what happened is Sarah Adams is a psychic healer. She goes to celebrity. This happened to be Steven. She names him. It's a celebrity's child's house, and they were gonna take mushrooms, I believe, and do like psychic reading guru stuff. She's like a guru type. Well, what happened is she took the mushrooms and ended up having a bad reaction. And the other people seemed okay. The couple, there was a young couple that she was supposed to give like a psychic reading to. Well, she took the mushrooms that she allegedly brought for everyone to partake in, and she couldn't really seem to handle the trip, and this is what happened.
No! Help me! Help me!
Even if we have to RSI her.
No!
Leg down.
No! Help me!
Got
No! Help me! Help!
All of this was caught on camera, apparently, by the chest cams that the paramedics and stuff had. And obviously this is probably this woman's worst day of her life, and it was given out for all of the world to see.
If you kill me, I'll come back. No, you can't. You understand? I don't want to know.
There you go. Take that.
Help me! Help me!
God, dude.
Cross your ankles?
Help me!
I'm gonna cross your ankles over. Yeah, we got it. We got enough people.
If you kill me, I'll come back. I don't know what to do.
So there's a decision in content creation when one comes across something like this. You have to make a decision. Am I going to use this situation to grow as much as I can? Or am I going to show a little bit of compassion and be like, dude, that's wild. That lady obviously was having a bad trip. She probably shouldn't be going around playing Little Miss Guru if she can't handle her shrooms. But how much beating of a dead horse do you need to do with a situation like this? And I think that's where Cambian goes too far. He doesn't seem to. What he does is when he can't find anything else to make a video about, he'll come back to it and revive, the embarrassment and everything that this woman has gone through, obviously.
No, I can't die. I can't come back. I can't die if you kill me. You can't kill me.
And Jolly. Yeah, and Jolly also.
You're calling me at 150? I can't die, but I can't come back. I don't know what to do. Please help me.
Just hold tight.
Please. No. I don't know if you kill me. Help me!
Just for record, she addresses all this in this podcast coming up that we're gonna watch. She addresses what caused all this, her opinion.
Hey, yeah. 200? Yeah.
No. I can't come back. But I
We need a line. I'm sorry?
That's one of the couple that, and they're just like, what the fuck, bro? This lady said she was gonna come over and do some kind of guru healing, and all of a sudden, this happened. But she names who they are. no, I don't want to say Steve Harvey. It actually might be Steve Harvey. It's the child of a well-known celebrity. I think that guy right there.
Help me! There's no way you're gonna be able to help me!
Maybe not Steve Harvey. We'll clear it up later. It's a celebrity son.
I'm dead!
Hyperextend your arm.
I
Just being real, these paramedics were amazing. Bro, talk about professionals. Just applaud those paramedics.
I'm trying to go back!
I say 150 pounds-ish. Whatever. There she goes.
Help me!
So when they're giving an estimate on the weight, that's what they're doing with the 150 pounds. They're administering medications to try to counteract the effects of whatever she took, and they have to estimate weight to do that.
She definitely didn't appreciate that one.
Yeah, I don't know what to do!
That is his wife that he just took out. They're all on mushrooms. They took about a
She
gram
might
each.
burn through
He
the
seems to be doing it better than that one as well as her. She just passed out. She's delirious. He says he's feeling fine at the moment, but he still wants to be looked at because he knows it's not right.
I think they all probably need to get checked out. Yeah.
Depending on where they're at in the country, a lot of them are pretty used to it. Oh, look at that, Jupiter Island, Florida. I imagine they're pretty used to this type of thing. They probably have a lot of spring breakers and stuff. True story, my older brother ended up in a situation like this. He ate a bunch of shrooms and ended up at a fire station, and a bunch of firefighters had to restrain him, and he ended up like kind of coming to in the hospital. Like, oh, what the fuck? So this shit happens when people engage in reckless psychedelic drug use. I mean, Psych Ward Mike. A lot of people say that's his issue, is that he keeps eating shrooms on shrooms on shrooms. It's bad for you.
I know, but it's just,
You have
it
water in
breaks
the house.
off.
I mean,
it would she actually reacted to the 150 thing. She went, "Wait, what is 150? I'm not 150." So also I'm gonna show this is how Cambian covered it, because we need to get both sides. So right away, the title of this episode, "The End is Near." The end is near for Sarah Adams. Basically, her career's over. Her whole grift, her whole, professional career is in ruins. Let's celebrate it. That's similar to what he was doing with Wilcock. Wilcock, downward spiral, things like that. And at that point, it is, there's nothing illegal about it, but one has to make a decision. Like, am I going to push somebody off the edge? Or I would have liked to see Cambian extend a hand to Wilcock and be like, bro, come on the show, let's talk about it. It'll grow both of us. But yeah, that's obviously not what happened. And that's kind of what got me my mind on all this, is what happened with Wilcock. A lot of people don't care. There's this idea that if people are goofy or kind of out there like this Sarah Adams or Wilcock, that all of their thoughts and complaints should be discounted. And I don't know if that's fair or accurate. We're all a little strange, and just because somebody is kind of weird and talking about, some esoteric bullshit that you don't believe in, doesn't mean that they're not going through something that is really, affecting their life in a real negative way.
Dark corners of the night, secret
So this is Truth Seekers on YouTube. This is Stephen Cambian's channel. You could go check it out. Uh, I'm this is fair use. I'm trying to get both sides of the story to portray and give an accurate picture of cyberbullying and harassment
healer who
online.
has run, in my opinion, many scams on sick and vulnerable people, claiming she could heal them with her psychic healing superpowers. But beyond that, there was also the medbed scams that she was involved in which she promised people.
So this is the rub. That if you can prove that that person has done things in bad faith, that they deserve to be, just have the line crossed. Low blows, remarks about their personal appearance, whatever. If you are convinced that they have done things in the past that are wrong, you can cross the line and be extra horrible to them. That's kind of the concept behind this.
That she would take them up through a Stargate into a spaceship.
Which two wrongs don't make a right. That's just facts. It's too like more bad behavior doesn't help the situation, but
And then they would have a medbed session and meet all of the aliens. That was a scam that just turned out to be a Skype call.
well, and that's Broken Hip. That's what this is about. Is where is the line? Because you'll see when we go over to Coley's podcast, there's accusations that are a lot more than just him exposing her as a scam artist. Same with Wilcock. It turned into attacks about his personal appearance, his maybe him being gay, making fun of him that his wife left. That stuff is beyond exposing them for scams. I love shining a light on bad actors, grifters, scam artists, but there has to be a line or you become them. Like you become a clickbait slime ball and that's the debate is where is the line, especially if everyone kind of knows the dude is shady. It, they still deserve to have just decency, I guess. Like there's a way to do things and it's gotten blurred on YouTube and podcasts and the internet. But I'm not the one to answer these things. I'm just asking questions. What the fuck do I know?
Actually. And she ran that scam with a few other scammers who we have exposed here. In my opinion, Sarah R. Adams is one of the most dangerous and manipulative people in the New Age scene today. She preys on sick and vulnerable people, promising them that she can heal them with her superpowers, which she cannot prove are real. She has also sold a very expensive, to the best of my recollection, it was a $1,500 course in how to open Stargates.
So, in this, I even said this in the chat with Coley UAP or whatever. Cambian doesn't seem to cross a lot of those lines. But what Sarah is complaining about is his supporters doing it. His minions, his underlings, his producer. And that's where I don't know what is real and what is getting lost in the sauce. I'm not sure.
And upon investigating that story, I challenged Sarah R. Adams to show us all a Stargate. After all, if she's taking a huge amount of money from people to teach them how to open Stargates, she should be able to display that she actually has the ability to do what she's taking money from people to teach them to do. She has never responded to my challenge to show us a Stargate. She claims that she's in contact with angels and extraterrestrials on an almost daily basis. And her claimed superpowers are kind of ridiculous.
Yeah,
she claims she can travel.
Yeah, I'm questioning everything. I question everything, bro. I question why Cambian hasn't recognized what's obviously right in front of him, which is an organized hate group right on UFO Twitter. I question a lot of things.
Through black holes.
I mean, that's a story that he could blow up, bro. He could wreck that crew. He's got the connections. It's what I'm questioning is, does he possibly know who's pulling the strings above that, and he don't want to touch it? So at what point are you? That's not seeking the truth. You're just alien girl at that point.
To other dimensions and on and on.
You're just alien girl that talks shit about people at that point. Like it's just clickbaiting.
Recently, Sarah R. Adams' newest scam was that she would offer shamanic retreats to people. But as we'll see in today's story, those shamanic retreats just turned out to be her giving people psychedelic mushrooms.
What I want to know, there's a few questions I have. Sarah Adams keeps saying the Cambian was encouraging his audience to do her harm. I want to see if any of that ever happened, which I don't think it did. And yeah, there's a few things.
And some kind of synthetic DMT. And in today's story, we're going to see what happens when you hire Sarah R. Adams to go on a shaman.
So I remember this live, and this was the episode her lawyer showed up in the chat, I believe. I wanted to find that too.
People, hopefully this will be the end of Sarah R. Adams and her ability to scam people for her fake superpowers. Let's watch, friends.
Yeah, this is the video. So things, if this is now, what was interesting is he did a few more episodes on her, but there was one where she sent a guy into the chat, and he was claiming to be her lawyer and was like saying like, dude, we've talked, like you don't have this is against the law, and I wanted to see if that's this episode, because it got crazy in the chat that night. I think it just goes to the end. Yeah, it must have been the next episode. Who is that guy?
No, I'm talking about like her like purse, all that kind of stuff.
Like I said, she's been on the move even with us being here. Like she drove a couple hours out just to.
Does she stay the night here or anything like that? Has she been doing
here
that?
with us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, let's see what she says, man. It just ended. This is Coley UFO. This is the podcast that went live. And what appears to be happening is everyone is taking this opportunity. Anybody that Cambian has crossed in the past, they seem to be taking this opportunity to come for that bag. And these two women are part of it. Let's see it.
Take the journey into the unknown with SNX Radio as we delve into the enigmatic world of UFO sightings and extraterrestrial abductions. Join us for...
This is fair use. I'm trying to give an accurate portrayal of cyber harassment. Wow, her intro is intense.
Conversations with leading experts and individuals who have encountered these otherworldly beings, uncovering secrets about their experiences, contact stories, and the profound implications for humanity. Listen as we reveal the incredible narratives of those who have undergone alien abductions, shedding light on the psychological and spiritual impacts of these encounters. Explore the depths of...
Yeah, they do seem to be throwing the exact same allegations back. A lot of allegations that he is encouraging the mentally unwell. You'll see. I mean, we'll get...
consciousness and spirituality as we discuss how these...
Dude, this intro is insanely long. Look at that. The intro goes for 13 minutes. Holy shit. Wowzers. So is this Coley UFO on YouTube?
Over on X. Okay, I just want to welcome everybody. We're streaming on Instagram, 2 places: Facebook, YouTube, X, everywhere. So this one is really directed towards X today. There's people in the community, as many people know, and they do nothing. They call themselves truth seekers. They call themselves critics. They even think.
One thing that's interesting is she kept aiming it at X. Like Cambian is running some hate group organization on X, and I have seen zero evidence of that. Cambian only really uses X to advertise his videos. I've actually even talked about it, like where he's like, dude, stay out of the drama on X, just use it to promote your stuff. Cambian isn't running around on X orchestrating anything. So that I would say is busted. When they talk about he's some kind of like puppet master on X, I've seen nothing to show that.
Think in their demented,
most people don't like
Cambian
Cambian on X, from what I've seen.
Everything is actually helping. It's actually helping us. They're doing us a favor. But let me tell you, I have had, and I've been at the target of this. There was one time on X back in 22 where I had over 1 million hits a month, and I walked away from all of that, almost 50,000 subscribers, because I couldn't stand the bullying and the targeting. And that's I mean, it was like just compounding. And I didn't experience it, not even a portion of what people like David Wilcock did, Corey Good did, and Sarah Adams, that's with us tonight. So I have to give her
it's just not the reality.
Much credit. She's coming forth, and she's hitting. These people are not playing around. Whenever I had Corey just on the show for a minute, I mean, I've had videos. They've made up so much stuff about me. They're like, I had people making sure I was okay. They're sending. I mean, this is a group of people, and it's hard to wrap your mind around. They're practicing witchcraft. They think there's an art.
Practicing witchcraft. I don't know who has had run-ins with Corey UFO here on YouTube. This was kind of my first introduction to her. I'm gonna have to look into it. She mentioned 2022, which is before my time. I came a little after that.
A humiliation that they have ritual that they have to put you through. I mean, we're talking about the lowest of the low when you have.
She talks about this ritual you got to go through on UFO Twitter. It's not that far-fetched. There are these little groups, and they're cyber cults, and you have to conform to. I mean, I've covered that extensively. She seems to be pointing it at Cambian, which isn't accurate in my opinion, but
people in your group and their name starts.
It exists. Racist, it's just not Cambian.
I think you have bigger problems than anybody else does. And I don't care if you did not like what Corey Good. I don't care if you believe him. I don't care if you believe David Wilk. I don't care if you believe me. But the point of this is that nobody deserves, and I mean nobody deserves, to live under that constant. I mean, it's like
agree.
They don't eat, they don't sleep. They're so fixated on you that they will do. If you sneeze, they know about it, and they're making a video, but they make it.
I understand everything she's saying right now. It's just I don't see Cambian doing that.
Something so much more ugly. So, Steve Cambian, we're calling out names today. Hidden in plain sight, we are calling out names today. You are no longer able to do this. This is not going to be tolerated. There's a petition that we have. We encourage you to go on there on change.org.
Ooh, a petition. Man, it's just wild that Cambian is getting singled out. Like, I agree that there are problems in ufology, and the people just treat each other like dog shit overall. But it's not Cambian from what I've seen. And what thing we might not get to it, Sarah mentions she's going to be dropping receipts on a Facebook account regularly throughout the week. I'm going to keep up on it and see what she posts.
And I'll make sure that's should be in the description. I'll get that to everybody in the link. And demand for the greater good. Let's not let David's death go without a cause. Let's not let David go here and just say, hey, whatever it is, what it is, you had depression. Well, let me tell you, I was a mental health therapist for 7 years on what fuels depression. Let me tell you how environmental situations, and let me tell you how they took his marriage, they took his income, they took.
Guys, that's all. I mean, that's all generally accurate. I don't know if Cambian's to blame for his marriage, but they definitely targeted it. They wedged into it when it happened.
Everything from him and made him, and literally that poor guy was there starving and nobody even knew it because he had too much pride under these attacks to say anything. So yes, I do take this very personal when a life is gone. And yes, they may say depression, they may say whatever, but as a mental health therapist, I'm telling you that this type of pressure and this, what they are doing, I mean, it was nonstop. I remember talking to Corey Good about it.
I don't think it was Cambian. I think it was others. And that's what I think happens is when you end up in that hole, you find one person, I've even done it, and you hyper focus on them, and you start to think that any negative comments towards you are coming from that little core or that little group, and it might not be the reality. Like, I've even had to look at that, and I think that might have been what happened with Wilcock, is the guy was putting out a lot of content. A lot of it was a little embarrassing, even a lot embarrassing, and he was drawing a lot of negative attention, and he wanted to saddle all that on Cambian, and they seem to be doing the same thing. I don't think it was all coming from Cambian, but he gassed it up. I mean, he contributed to the negative flow of media about him.
It, and he just, like, I could just see him visibly. He's like, you don't understand, shaking kind of from this and the stuff that they have gone through. Every time they go to give their information out or their truth out, it is met with these critics and these truth seekers that are demented and deranged. They have a better place in a mental institution than they do on any sort of platform.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm encouraging each and every one of you.
That's true, Broken Hip. And when they're anonymous and running around on these anonymous socks, you wonder if it's a third party that's trying to create, situations like this. It could even be, sometimes it'll even be the person attacking themselves, to create a story, to become a victim. That's happened on UFO Twitter. Well, they'll attack themselves on socks. That way they can be the victim for a while. It's a mess.
If you see something, you say something, and you do something.
That's why you shouldn't take anonymous accounts seriously, no matter what they say. You should just recognize that it's a sock, blow them some shit that they don't have the balls to talk on their main account, and just ignore them.
No longer should this type of bullying be a part of being a social media influencer. No time at all should this be just being a social media influencer. Oh, well, you're in the... No, nobody deserves to live like this, and I'm telling you. So
yeah,
you guys they can bring it on.
It's a false flag operation is what it is.
Day long, but let me tell you, I'm a little numb from the whole scenario altogether. But tonight is about Sarah Adams. Sarah went under the...
Bring out Sarah. Get Sarah on here.
Scrutiny of all and each and every one of them. The same group of people that targeted David Wilcox, Corey Good, and I got the end of it. I mean, so many more. And as we keep moving forward, we're finding more and more people on X. Again, we encourage you. I'll get those links out there. There's a petition. I encourage you to go and sign that petition to put pressure on the Boulder police and the federal government to enforce the laws that are there.
Man, they're putting pressure on detectives and Boulder police. I asked Cambian in his chat the other day, but he didn't respond if he's preparing that he might get contacted by a detective. He didn't respond, and I didn't expect him to, honestly. But if I was him, I would at least make a call to my attorney and be like, hey, this is going on. People are kind of blaming me for this.
They are breaking laws. There are laws there to protect people that nobody, and again, say nobody should have to live like this. So without further ado, you know what? I just want to say thank you.
What a mess.
I get going here, you know, but this is I'm so passionate about this, but I just want to say hi to everybody in chat here. I'm just going to go through real quick. And I want to say all the mods that have picked this up, I really appreciate you. Blazer is producing this behind the scenes, and he and I have been working through the night, like on all of this. So Jane from over at Midwest Night Watchers, welcome at Charusan.
It's Coley UFO on YouTube if anyone wants to go subscribe to her channel and check it out.
And of course, we got our Blazer. Steamboat, welcome and thank you for taking on the wrench today. So appreciate.
Let's get Sarah.
But at some point, I'm going to teach you a lesson you're never going to forget. You're going to go change and become a better.
Here's Sarah.
Sarah, I just want to start off by saying I'm very proud. I mean, I know I haven't known you personally for that long, but girl, you've got a lot of strength to come out here and take this on. You really do. And I'm like, so, I'm there. I'm there for you. I get that and I understand that. But why don't you tell everybody, for people who do not know who Sarah Adams is, why don't you tell them who you are and what you do and how you got here?
Thank you. And thank you for having me on. So I have had a lot of supernatural experiences, spiritual experiences, remembering past lives, a lot of experiences since a child. So then at the age of 30, I was diagnosed with lupus.
Oh, did she just showed one of my messages. I missed it. Let me see what it was.
And I was able to heal myself via detoxin.
She healed herself from lupus. Did you hear that?
A lot of experiences since a child. So then
there it
at
is.
the age of 30,
I said I feel bad about what happened to Wilcox.
Body was dying. So I was guided by the angel.
Yeah, she could be Native American. I imagine if you went into her origin story, she taps into it somewhere.
By the divine on how to heal my body, being bedridden back when I was like 20. And I was able to heal myself via detoxin, herbal herbs.
Kidney infection, I healed that too.
All sorts of lovely things like that, energy work. And then just like have filed out my experiences.
Sorry, y'all.
For years. I would just sit
Shannon
like I'm doing
Blake.
here. I'd sit on my bed back in the day and be like,
little Shannon Blake. Shout out. Go follow Shannon Blake.
Like, oh, I'm taking this herb. I'm just like testing out everything when I was dying. And people also know me from that. They know me from also, I was with Max Spears. He passed away, sadly. Yeah, so, and nowadays I'm working with...
That is another thing that bothered me, is I was like, well, all these people are saying and making these crazy threats, like, don't you have screenshots to put up? But you don't really do that live, Broken Hip. That's something I kind of realized. When you're live and Coley seems to be all alone doing her podcast, you can't really grab screenshots and react to it live. And Sarah, she says that she was going to put them all up on her Facebook. So I don't have Facebook, so we're going to have to monitor her Facebook account.
Doing an animal rescue center. That's what I'm focused on right now. And so, for me though, Collie, and I love your name, Kali, by the way. It reminds me kind of the goddess Kali, who's like, she takes down evil.
We are taking it down today, girl. We are taking it down. Yeah,
and for me, I am really nice, I'm very kind. I'm always helping people out, but I'm a Taurus. If you keep pushing...
Me too.
Oh, you're a Taurus too. Yes. If you keep pushing
May 7th.
Okay, at 26th of April here. Yeah.
Happy belated birthday. That's awesome.
Well, she reacted to even something I said in the chat. I was like, they keep talking about how Cambian, one of his minions, is a female who is a S offender. And they were grilling on this person, and I was like, well, who is it? And they said they're going to put it on their Facebook.
Yeah, you just had one, right? Oh, yeah. Awesome. Happy birthday, girl.
Yeah, it is grifty. Like, that's where I was kind of going with Coley. is it. But dude, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not gonna crap on Collie yet. I think she might be genuine. I mean, she might just have bad info. Who knows? I might have bad info. Maybe Cambian is a monster behind the scenes. I don't know. Like, how would I know?
Happy birthday.
And I will say, as a Taurus and as a divine feminine, like I give you a lot of grace to heal, a lot of grace to become a better person. But at some point, I'm going to teach you a lesson you're never going to forget. And you're going to go change and become a better person. And that's what I'm doing right now. And, I had the experience where I told you,
All right,
where I
let's
was
move
filming the
it so she starts getting
to
into
sell the story that had tried to, they literally
There it is.
contacted major news media.
And
Like-
you're talking about Steve Harvey from
Yes,
Steve Harvey.
Yeah.
Steve Harvey. It is Steve Harvey. That's who kids it was that she was meeting with.
Did I try to kill Steve Harvey's
Oh my
kids?
God.
They
So
tried to frame me for
her first accusation is that Cambian was spreading the lie that she was trying to poison Stephen Harvey's kids, which I do remember Cambian talking about the dangers of just bringing psychedelics into this house and being like, let's all get fucked up and do, meditation. Like it is dangerous. So, but it is. I don't know, man.
murder. There's
They're
literally where
twisting
they're
it.
asking the New York Times. They're like, you need to investigate her for murder, tagging the New York Times stuff. So the Harveys called me up and they're like, Sarah, you didn't try to murder us. This is crazy. Like they literally also try to intimidate the Harveys and say, you should say Sarah tried to murder you. And they were like, no, this is not true at all. And we're worried about you because their camera crew person.
So I did see a little bit of it back and forth with the young man, which is Steve Harvey's son, allegedly, apparently. And he said this was a regular thing. She would come in, they would trip balls, and she would do like spiritual readings with them. That wasn't the first time they had done this little arrangement, which as adults is their right. It just went bad that one time because she claims the shrooms were bad. Here it is, or something.
He just freaked out and he didn't call 911 because it's the Harvey family. So he was freaked out when I was like opening my mouth to breathe and stuff because I had such a bad reaction. And I knew because I do shroom trip once a year. I don't drink out doing. I had like one drink of alcohol and like perpetually through my I'm not a person who does drugs, drinks, or anything. I have one shroom journey a year that's sacred to me. So this was supposed to be a very sacred experience.
Quote, I have one shroom journey a year that's sacred to me. End quote.
And I realized when I took the shrooms that I was having an allergic reaction. I couldn't breathe. I realized my heart was like it was bad. So I was in a different room than the Harveys. I took off my clothes, got into the shower because I was like, the cold water might bring me back. And they claimed that we were doing some sort of orgies, that it was
She had a bad trip. That I've mentioned before where Cambian seems like he's never really experimented with drug use and stuff. Sometimes he seems a little uneducated on the topic, and basically she had a bad trip.
the drug, a whole drug thing that was happening, and all sorts of weird things that were not true whatsoever. And then they perpetuated the story out there. And Steve Harvey's son and daughter, they have 5 children. They're very loyal to each other. We're not into weird sexual stuff.
Rotary. Using her feminism.
We were trying to film a healing documentary to help people out because psychedelics have helped people.
You out, bro?
I know people got
I'll talk to you tomorrow, Rotary.
out of wheelchairs from psychedelics. They have learned how to walk again. So that was our intent. So they went and tried to sell this twisted story. And Steve Cambian just over
All
and
right, bro. Have a good
over and
night.
over again would bring
Hit
this
me up in
footage
the group
on
chat
to
tomorrow.
ridicule like us over and over and over again. It was absolutely crazy to go through.
I know,
And that's what she was describing there is it would die down and she would start to get her life back to normal and then it would get recirculated, you know, her screaming and everything, and anyone that's human could understand just how exhausting that would be. And it's like, fuck, one bad trip, you know, like,
they don't stop, and people are on here. You can say what everybody can say here. We got rest in peace, brother David. I'm going to tell everybody about rest in peace, brother David, who's using David Wilcock and his profile picture. He had the nerve and the audacity to say that what they did to him was actually to help him. So that you have somebody that's sick,
No.
Dave, or that is so sick. What's his name? Rest in peace, Dave. You need help, okay, buddy? You all need help.
So what I noticed, and I'm just being real because that's what I do, is the podcast as I was watching live, there was maybe 30, 35 people in there. It was getting these socks coming in that were being disruptive and saying wild shit. And that it did portray the image the Cambian does have minions doing the exact same shit that the Tupa crew does, going into chat rooms and being snarky and just trying to be disruptive. And I don't know if Cambian's encouraging these people to do it, but it did happen. Like, I mean, that's just the facts. And no, I'm not talking about you.
I don't think they can write whatever they want in the comments right now. We all knew that this was going to happen. You know, like I said, I'm gonna keep it cool, real, whatever. But
yeah, I know we were both in there. I don't think Cambian was trying to help Wilcock. I think that's bullshit. I don't buy that.
It just makes me so mad, Sarah, to see this. Like all of them know, and there's right now they're scrambling because this is the first time that we've stayed united on this end. You know, this is great. This is moving forward. This is gonna, you know, we're calling for new standards. Yeah, we are calling for new standards.
It's gonna blow up.
They're so stoked, man. All of Cambian's haters are united behind him. Corey Good posting every day. Canceling Cambian isn't anything close to the answer. I don't know why anyone thinks that's gonna fix anything. I mean, the real way to approach it would be to sit down and explain, like, look, this is the shit you did, and talk about it like norm. Dude, make content out of it. That would be the best way to approach it for, you know, everyone.
I am so sorry.
It's a good conversation.
All that happened to you, and I didn't want to take away from what you just said because it's very important. It's very important, and regardless of how everybody in here felt about Corey Good, David Wilcock, or me, Sarah, anybody, nobody deserves what they brought. Nobody. So I'm just going to say that moving forward, this isn't about them. This is about what happened to them and what happened to you.
Yeah, squashing channels is lame. Squashing someone's channel is always a bad look, and that seems to be the what's strategy here is petitions. Let's squash the channel, and yeah, I don't support that in any way.
So please go on.
Exactly. It's like, okay, I don't like you, that's fine. And if I do one post or two posts that I don't like you, that's fine. But if I make constant posts over and over about you, constant video over and over, I contact your friends, they put my storage details. Okay, so I have a storage with millions of dollars of stuff here in California.
This is where the allegations start raining, and I just want to know where a lot of this stuff comes from.
Taj, who is Steve Cambian's bestie, who I think we went to the first part of this that was aired, how he's a criminal, how he worked for me for 10 years. He's a meth head. He was stealing. I found him stealing money.
I remember that Taj guy. Taj was being used by Cambian in it during the lives and the videos as kind of his inside guy on her. He was feeding Cambian lots of info on her, inside dirt about suspicious financial activity, all kinds of stuff. So she clearly has good reason to really dislike this guy Taj.
is jaded. He's got some weird thing where he thought he owned me, my money. I sent you guys all this in where he was telling
Yes.
my girlfriends all this weird stuff.
It went bad
He's an
between them
incel.
at some
Basically,
point.
they were trying to block me out of paying my storage because he blocked me because he had all the logins for he had control of my website, everything. He was supposed to pay everything. He was an assistant also. He was supposed to, so not only was he stealing money, so recently he's been trying to block me out so they could get the millions of dollars of stuff from my storage. They're such criminals. Like, they talked about this in the group that they
So right there's an allegation about they were trying to get her off a storage unit account. That way Taj could probably swoop in and see what's in there and scoop up her valuables. That's the allegation. I don't know how credible it is. It sounds like it most likely is more about her and this Taj guy than Cambian.
were hoping they could get millions of dollars of my things. I have like art that's worth thousands of dollars and stuff in there. So they were trying to block me out online. I had to call my storage people. I literally to pay them because he's hacked into my iCloud right now. They're following all my location. That's why I
So
missed the
there's
hotel
a second allegation for the record. Cambian is hacked into her iCloud.
now. They had my house broken into and everything.
That's the one that had the house broken into. I put in the chat right now. Wait a minute. You're saying Cambian had people break into your house and they respawn?
He also I can't have any bank accounts right now. I have my money. I've all of my money in my friend's account. So, and I'm having to use that way because of the fact they put my social security out there, my bank details, my address.
Guys, again, just for the record, Wilcock also had accusations about bank information. I mean,
all sorts of information, the literal code to my storage, all sorts of personal stuff he was logged into. And I told Steve Cambian's co-producer, I was like, this is illegal what he's doing. And he was like, well, you gave him this. I said, when he worked for me, which was over a year ago.
So that right there, Taj was using passwords and information that he had gotten when they were together, when they were on good terms. And a year or 2 years later, he was using, oh, I remember, I still got her password. We can go check this out.
And when you stop working for somebody, you're not supposed to use their private information and put it out online. That's illegal what they're doing.
They doxed me too. And one of the people in the groups felt so bad for me that he actually reached out and he's like, I'm just letting you know this has gone way too far, but they have all of your information. Sure enough, I looked, I was like, I have a child here. And they are sending people. Someone's like, is that true? Yes, they went to
So Coley is also claiming that Cambian and his friends, supporters, doxed her, for the record.
Her house. They sent these lunatics. If you don't think that I had a guy going around with a salt shaker in my local community thinking he needed to encapsulate me. These people, for some reason, are drawn to people who are going and talking on, I don't know what they've got going on, like I said, but they see somebody or they see your video and then they in their head, they have a whole different deranged thought process. So yes, they came to your house, right? And they broke into your car.
They broke into my house.
Yeah, they're responding to my comment in the chat right now, where I asked, can you clarify who exactly broke into your house? And she says somebody was breaking into her car regularly.
Like, and me and my roommate's house, and there was actually another friend there. So I have had 2 witnesses, and we also had this weird guy, because it's like, okay, I'm living in an upper class neighborhood, and why is this the weird guy with like this hoodie on, like looking at me like that when I'm coming in with my like into my garage, and it's my roommate. So I was like, what, this guy doesn't need, we don't ever see people like this in our neighborhood. And okay, then my car got broken into also, and I posted pictures.
My car's been broken into twice in the past year, and I never once thought it was anybody from the internet, but
I tweeted pictures to you and Corey, like the pictures. I woke up in the morning, I was going to Meals on Wheels with my other friend, and it was like 6 a.m. because I was going to LA. I am here in, San Diego, and literally my car has been trashed. They
right.
trashed my car.
But again, these were allegations the Wilcock was also making about people creeping around, and I don't for once think it's Cambian doing any of this. But I don't know if he possibly is encouraging people to try to get information for him. Because that does happen. You got Red Panda Koala running these skeezy girls around, honeypotting guys and trying to get dirt on guys to fill out the server so he can use it. Information and data on people is valuable, especially in a content creator's life. And I don't know, dude. I don't know. This is a common allegation that anybody who Cambian seems to cover in it regularly in a negative light, they seem to start noticing weird things in their life, and I don't know.
Car. I don't know what they were looking for, but they trashed my car. So, and then me and my other friend were gonna get this place in Sedona. They gave out the address. They asked for people to come beat us, and then they also asked for people to go to the place. It was so crazy. Like the things they're doing are criminal. Literal, they're doing literal.
She has a really hard time communicating clearly. She jumps from one story to another. But I think she is hitting on things that really happen. She talked about how they have events and that Cambian or whoever, they'll encourage people to go to the events, take videos, heckle, things like that, which is believable. Like that's
Criminal acts.
They are. They are doing criminal acts. They are. And they like to make up little things. Like I was a big advocate in my community for COVID, and I spoke out very much against it. And there are repercussions for being an advocate. And they took that and they took all those documents. Have I been arrested for? Yes, I sure have. And was it anything? No, they came with false. You don't think your police is in on this? I have talked about it openly. Rest in peace, Brother David. I even live streamed what happened.
A lot of things people say, but that doesn't deserve. They don't deserve to be bullied. They don't deserve to have people sent to their houses. They don't deserve any of that. But to go back, even James Rank, like he didn't say that he was dying until it was like
broken hip, the personal boogeyman. That is a thing, and everyone, that seems to exist online ends up with a personal boogeyman.
Basically too late. And some of the same people that bullied David and me also bullied James Rank.
James Rank?
It's the same people.
Yep.
It's the same people.
Does anyone know that James Rank is? I'm unfamiliar. I've heard the name.
Isn't that unbelievable that they've been allowed to go on like this? And the rest of the community, it really bothers me when they see this and then they say nothing because they don't want the wrath themselves.
See, right there, that's accurate. But it's not about Cambian. Nobody's afraid of Cambian. Most people on UFO Twitter don't follow Stephen Cambian. And she said at the beginning of her podcast that this is mainly aimed at UFO Twitter. People don't really follow Cambian. There is a group on UFO Twitter that does exist in that form where podcasters are afraid to cross them because they don't want to get the wrath. But it's not Cambian. It's Tupacabra and Red Panda Koala and a group that they've manufactured. They're the ones that dominate UFO Twitter. And Cambian, honestly, believe it or not, seems to fall under the banner where he's afraid to cross those guys. They're the ones that are everyone's intimidated by, and it's not because they're big, scary, tough guys. It's because they enlist an army of socks, lunatics like Psych Ward Mike that'll hold 3 day long spaces about you. They'll go the extra length to make your life hell. They'll dox you, they'll swat you, but it's not Cambian. It's never been Cambian. I've been on UFO Twitter for about 3 years. I've been balls deep in all the drama. I've been on both sides of the Civil War, and Cambian isn't a major player in any of it. He seems to only focus on making content on YouTube. So this idea that Cambian's a puppet master on UFO Twitter, Coley is who I'm speaking to. I imagine she'll probably watch some of this. It's not accurate.
I mean,
Get that?
the thing is I already right now have hired some people that are going to find out everything about this group. And then I'm going to make sure it's everywhere, and I'm going to make sure that this
Oh, hell no, bro. I ain't got enough for a new PC. You crazy? I'm torn between a PS5 or a PC, but nah, man.
is
I am fully canceled and suppressed.
basically legally taken care of.
I used to get regular donations into my Buy Me Coffee, which is buymeacoffee.com/TJ Felony if anyone wants to hit up. But what started happening is Tupacabra and another guy named Full Stack Logan, one of their minions. This guy holds spaces for like 5-6 days straight sometimes. I'm not exaggerating. They started regularly reading off anybody who donates to my Buy Me Coffee because it keeps a log, and because most people, you thank them or whatever, and it killed a lot of the regular supporters. Actually, it killed all of them besides my friends. There were a lot of members of the Tuba crew and fringe groups that were supportive, but once Logan and Tupa started doing that, it fucked it up.
I'm not stopping. I am not stopping. I'm going to let the whole world know, hey, if you're friends with Steve
For some reason, I'm not allowed to breathe.
Cambian, you are friends with a pedo protector, with somebody who knows a
No.
woman's a pedophile. And
This is where it gets a little wild now. She starts talking about this female member of Cambian Circle that she claims is an S offender.
he's connected to her. If you're friends with Tejinder Gill, he's a criminal. He's an incel. So is Steve Cambian. He's an incel too. Probably those other guys are incels. They're always incels. And they want to tell me nobody wants to date you. Oh, you're ugly. Oh, this, like, none of that's true. That's
I
only your own
know.
demented, mentally unwell heads.
What she was saying there about nobody wants to date you, you're ugly. That's accurate. I've heard things like that in the videos. They said things about her having saggy boobs, stuff like that. That's all stuff I've heard with my own ears. And whenever I hear that stuff, I remember saying things in the chat. Um, it always does make me cringe, and that is incel behavior. And you just got to remember that everybody's human, and if they're watching, dude, that shit, dude, it doesn't feel good to anybody. Plus, it has nothing to do with her scams. Like, talk about her scams, talk about her bad trip, whatever.
That's basically for them. And
they address me as the C word. That's how they address me. They said I can't.
Oh, Tio, you're gonna clash with some people, bro. Yeah, there is some incel behavior. There is, and Coley's here saying they call her a C word.
Stand your ugly face, you CUNT. Like that's how they talk to people.
I mean, and you know what? I could make a lot of fun of their looks because, no offense, it's not an attractive group of people, inner or outer, that's for sure. And for me, it's like I'm not that low to continuously make videos. I have a life, a nice life. even though I'm hiding out at hotels right now and this God's going to take care of
That's the other accusation that I wanted to catch. She's claiming she's living in hotels, that it's so bad that she's staying in hotels. Is that fair? Is that, I don't know, man.
that the divine's going to help me take care of all of this. It's happening right now. I am not going to sit there, and these men are older than me, by the way, like they're the age of my father basically, which is also sad. And so is Terry Joyce, so is like Carissa. These people are like, come on. It's like, guys, you got to get better, because you're at one point you're going to die and you're going to have to face God. It's not going to get better if you don't get better yourselves. But it's like, I don't have to sit there and make video after video and be crazy online. It's really honestly like, it's weird. And they made fun of David like constantly, how he looks and stuff. Like, we're not in what is it? I've never been to school, but what is it?
Isn't this when I think this was when Broken Hip got kicked out.
People are like making fun of looks. They're acting literally
She
like
said she never went to school, and Broken Hip said something in the chat and they booted her.
teenagers, like bully group of teenagers online.
Yeah, like, I know.
What's
one comes, and then all of a sudden you got another one, and you got another one, and you got people like rest in peace, R.I.P. brother David, and you got all the, and they start to gang up. I've seen it. I start blocking them, and then I'm saying there's one girl. I don't know who.
Just for the record, the account named Rest in Peace brother David, what that was being disruptive in the chat, that they weren't part of the friend circle. So that was a sarcastic name for their sock.
She thinks she is, and she's like sitting there, and I mean, they were just like tearing me apart. Do you think that I'm shallow enough just to base myself off of looks? Like, I'm walking around, my hair, I don't care.
I totally agree with that. I mean, when people make fun of my looks, which happens all the time on UFO Twitter, it's more of a sign of you have nothing to say. Like, you're shallow. And most of them are from like accounts with AI emotes as their PFPs. Like, they never put their self out there to be vulnerable. It is stupid when people attack each other's physical looks. I think it's lame too. I always have.
About that, I don't value that. Maybe like
means nothing to me. I'm attracted to somebody's personality and their character. It's not about that.
I'm not talking to you. I'm talking about they do. But I looked at their profile pictures and I'm like, you're calling me out, and this is what you got going on.
They look
yeah, my God.
Eyes are just like, I was telling my other friend, we were just like, oh my God, they look like Disney villains. They literally.
She said they're rugged.
They look like Disney villains. Like, the one's eyes are just like, boing, boing. And Sanpaku eyes, they have Sanpaku eyes, all of them, which is about, which
what?
I researched this recently because.
Sanpaku eyes?
My other friend was like, oh, they have Sanpaku eyes, and they do. It's just like very, bulging, which actually represents that.
Well, Coley, if you are watching this back, Cambian has a medical condition. He has an issue with his eyes. So that's why he wears the sunglasses and stuff. So you're being kind of a bully here, But they probably didn't know that.
You have that you're a dark soul, or you have a disturbed soul. So it's really where the whole group kind of has those eyes.
Oh, we just lost Sarah.
She got dropped.
From what I understand, he's an alcoholic. I don't know if he's doing drugs. Some of these people could die of drugs. They could also, they're so unhealthy, they can die. And I want them to go get therapy. I want them to go to rehab. I want them to get what they need so that they're okay, because they're not, because nobody that is okay, they need therapy, so that they need mental health therapy, because if they were okay, they wouldn't be doing this. That's the thing. It's like every so long I will do a rebuttal post like, no, these are lies. This is da da da, because I'm like, no, I'm not allowing these lies to happen in my life. But I have a life where I work out, where I do all these amazing things. And it's like I feel actually like bad for them. I'm like, oh my God, how terribly are you suffering inside that you are doing this? I wouldn't want to have their lives.
I didn't hear him say that he was a serial killer. I heard him say that he like basically was encouraging people. I don't know, man.
Honestly,
No,
it's
people
sad.
who hurt other
They said they say he looked like a serial killer?
people. I always say people that hurt other people psychologically. I can
Yes.
tell you that they have gone through, and what they
Oh.
are spewing out
Oh, I didn't know what that I've never heard that term. I had no idea what that term was.
is something that has happened to them, but instead of doing something good by it, like we're
I was thinking it meant, you know how some people have kind of like googly eyes where one looks outward? I thought that's what it meant.
trying to do, they went and they became the perpetrators. So I don't know, like it's just a vulnerability that they have in their brain. I don't know as if it can be helped. If somebody doesn't have that kind of empathy, you
It's
can't do anything with
projection.
that.
It's projection. It's like, okay,
Oh yeah.
Taj knows that I am not a drug addict or alcoholic. Oh, Sarah did psychedelics, so she's a drug addict. Well, you're doing meth, while Steve Cambian is an alcoholic and addict.
There's another allegation. She claimed Cambian's doing meth.
Projection. It's literally a projection.
They
That's
don't
what
want
it
it
is.
on them. They don't want you looking their way, so they're going to do whatever.
I wouldn't think Cambian's doing meth. That guy seems pretty clueless when it comes to drug culture. So I would bet my right arm that he's probably never touched a meth pipe in his entire life.
Whatever they can to protect their
Yes.
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 Oh yes.
That's it. And I feel that David really, his soul sees everyone that is going through this. You, me, a lot of my girlfriends, like they also are Steve's attacking a lot of pretty girls out there, or girls I feel
There's another allegation. Steve's attacking a lot of pretty girls out there. Look at Coley's face. She's like, wait, what?
he has some sort of weird interest, because I think he is what is it when a sadist? I think these people are sadists. And so he goes after
I've talked about that, how there does seem to be a problem on ufology, specifically UFO Twitter, where it is sadism. People, the spaces we've gone over, psychotic Mike and all his friends talking about Gabe's surgery. There seems to be a theme where people enjoy watching others go through hard times, or other people crash and burn, and I'm not immune to it. I try to check myself on it because I hate sadism. I think it's a curse.
these girls to attack them, so that and he feeds off of that, because he's just like this
Oh yeah.
energy vampire with his glasses and his one eye, because he has one eye, and he's like sitting there in his like little
Oh, well, now she knows he has one eye.
Oh God, he said
Wave
that
of
he is gonna have a fit over that, but he can say anything he wants about you.
He's been, you know what? They say us women have periods, so we get like, emotional and whatever. He's been on a lifelong period. I'm just gonna say that. It's a perpetual period of like victimhood period. Like, okay.
I don't think Cambian portrays himself as a victim.
I don't even think they could handle it.
I mean, Cambian's built something from nothing. He's built a pretty strong channel. He's building his log cabin. He's got his kids. He's got his wife. Cambian's doing all right.
I don't even think they could handle it. They would be curled up in a corner, and I don't think that they can handle it.
I mean, it's like for Taj, like you know what? I'm like, okay, bro, like you lived a very good life without having to have a job because of me. You think you would just like go to rehab and become a better person, not sit there and act the victim of some pretty girl who didn't want to be with you romantically, and also act like you're the poor thing. Okay, you got to hear this. There's this guy
Uh-oh.
Quincy. I never met him in my life, right? And he claims that he told my girlfriend the other day. This is, I mean, I have a laugh because my whole group of friends, like, it's terrible, but at the same time, like, we find the comedy in this. It's like he told her, he's like, he finds her and he messages her and he's like,
Yeah, but you gotta look for the bits of information hidden in the wackiness, bro. She's claiming that she's got girlfriends in her real life, and these people from this online world are all of a sudden like cold DMing them and stuff about internet dumb shit. Like that's what's important. She's got a friend and she gets random DMs from people from Cambian Circle on YouTube. Like that is a little much, right?
Sarah's driving the highways right now looking for me to rape me. It's some
Oh
homeless
my
man,
God.
African American man I've never met in my life. He took like a bikini photo for me online, and this is his. I apparently have raped him, and my
What?
boyfriend. We were like, "What the actual is going on here?" And this Steve Cambian, Terry Joyce, they're all posting this. Taj is posting this, and you
She even said. She said that Cambian reposted it, bro. I'm gonna have to go look. But she said afterwards Cambian reposted it. Taj reposted it.
just look at the video and you're like, "Oh, this is just like badly put together," and
And it's her in a bikini. So someone grabbed a video of her and then it ended up in their hands. I'm going to have to look into that because that's something that can actually be documented. Cambian's got, I mean, she said he's posting it, so I don't know if it was on, if it would have been on X or what. I'll look into it and I'll give an update on the next episode.
like, where's your proof, bro? There ain't no proof on here that you stole one of my.
It's just, I want to move on to my next topic, but there's no answer. It just like everything, it's all shades of gray. But I feel for people. I feel for Cambian. And I do think that girl's life has kind of been unfairly upended by that one video. You know, like just one video is all it took. Her having a bad trip. So I'm gonna jump over on back onto the main screen. I'm gonna try to get through this quick. This is the Allies of Humanity. They're a group popping up around UFO Twitter, and people seem to be kind of not keen to it yet, besides me and my little friend circle. There's a lot of big names that are involved with this group behind the scenes, and they're holding regular spaces on UFO Twitter, and O'Leary is becoming a big part of the movement. And you might ask, who are the allies of humanity? What does it even mean? Well, it depends on who you ask, because the allies of humanity to the inside group are the extraterrestrials that are giving their leader information on how to write the future of the human race. And the leader of this group is on X. He's around. It's this man right here. We're going to see a little bit from him over on YouTube. This is Marshall VN Summers, and I thought it was interesting that his name's Marshall, just like Marshall Applewhite. But he's not a Marshall Applewhite. This man's respected by a lot of big names. Christine mentioned that they're working with Danny Sheehan in a space yesterday. So I have been doing research and following this group and what they're about, and I've put together most of the known members that are holding the spaces here. And I got a kind of a little hierarchy here. That's Marshall, of course. And Marshall is the only one who has actually heard from the extraterrestrials. If you ask one of them who are the allies of humanity, they'll give you a ramble about how the allies are 5. There used to be 9, now they're just 5 extraterrestrials who Marshall here communicates with. And basically, he is the intermediary between the group and the extraterrestrials. This account right here. Next in line from what I've seen is this account right here. Her name is Christina Lee. She's the one that holds the spaces on UFO Twitter. She orchestrates it. She keeps everything going. She plans them. She keeps everyone reading. She'll like hand out reading assignments. Like, you read from chapter 2 because it's all in writings. This is all in books. That's what they have a doctrine, and they are constantly referring back to this doctrine. It's known as the Writings of Allies of Humanity. It's alliesofhumanity.org. This is Christina. She's kind of the front person for the group on UFO Twitter. This is O'Leary. He's in every space nowadays. He's even talking about how he's been bringing in new people to come in and hear about the teachings of the Allies of Humanity. He's going to appear in the spaces that we might get to if we have time. This is Blue right here. This account right here, Blue Crayon 71, they do all the YouTube stuff. They do all the Allies of Humanity YouTube postings. They organize the YouTube page. And if you see her, they follow me because I've been following this group almost every space they've done for a little while, a few months. And last night I posted a graphic, and it wasn't critical. It just had a couple images, and it said that I was going to do a review of the Allies of Humanity today. They immediately cleared me from the space. So I imagine this account right here was watching me. And when he saw that posted, he circulated, and they were like, this guy's just... But I'm an independent journalist, basically. Like, I'm not here to decide for anyone if this is a cyber cult or not. I'm just here to show you what's going on. And these guys are always in the spaces. This is Michael P. Slack, Seize the Day. They all have the same type of literature and everything in their bios and PFPs. You know, this is the readings back here, which is a common theme you will see with members of this group. I'd like to talk to them a little bit about what they define themselves as. Are they a group? Are they a collective? This is what the member I found that kind of stood out to me. And it says, new message from God's student. They also say their message from God is another phrase you'll see in their group. No longer a spiritual seeker because I found what I was seeking. Climate health, emotional health, truth, knowledge. So this is a new member, Maureen Murphy. I believe, I could be wrong, but this might be one that O'Leary brought in. I think I heard him say something like, I invited Maureen to come in. We're going to pop over back onto the lab, and I'm going to show a couple YouTube videos so you can get a picture of what these guys are about. And everyone is free to make up their own mind if this is something to be concerned of or.
The question is, who exactly are the allies?
This is Marshall talking, and Marshall's talking, describing what they are.
They describe themselves. They describe themselves as a group of representatives from several free worlds who have been sent to the Earth to observe the intervention and to create a report or to inform us. And that is the nature of their mission. They're not here to establish themselves, set up trade.
Yeah, we're doing Allies of Humanity. The reason I needed to get the Allies of Humanity in is this is actually kind of exciting for the channel. Somebody saw that I was covering the Allies of Humanity who's interested and been following them for a long time, and they're giving me information on Twitter and DMs, and we might work together a little bit in following this group, and they know more about the bigger names that are propping this group up. And at first it started out as just kind of a little thing to kind of laugh at, like, oh, look at this wacky little group, kind of like Sandia, the ET group that popped up. But these guys are connected to some of the biggest names in ufology. And what I'm seeing is these names in ufology are trying to keep in the shadows. They don't want to be connected publicly because I'm just going to be honest, it gives the image of a cyber cult, a UFO doomsday cult. It's almost cliche. It mirrors Heaven's Gate, of course. Even to the leader's name, Marshall. But it's a new world now, so I'm trying to tread lightly and cover this in a way that isn't close-minded.
Set up diplomatic relations, anything like this. They do not give their names because they are here acting really as spies. And they will not name their races because they don't want them to be endangered. And that those who they are witnessing or observing would take significant retribution.
What I'm finding, bro, is some of the biggest names, like I mentioned, possibly even. Nah, I'm not going to give the name yet. I'm going to wait. Possibly one of the biggest names that's leading the charge of disclosure is propping these guys up and buying in to Marshall. Marshall isn't a kook to these people. Marshall is somebody to be taken seriously to a lot of the biggest names on ufology. And it's a story that I'm the first on as far as covering it on YouTube and stuff, but you're going to see all the bigger accounts start jumping on and covering this. It'll be another thing that just gets taken from me.
Against them if they knew that they were here. And they, particularly in the second briefings, they talk about the danger this is posed to them. In fact, once the first book of briefings came out, the second book was given in great haste in a 24-hour period.
So what he just said there is the first book was given to him, and he gets a download, is what they call it in ufology, and then he writes the book. And there's 9 aliens at first. I believe they said 5 have died since, so now, or 4 have died maybe.
Because they had to leave. They're basically about to be discovered. And the rest is up to us. And that there's no one in the universe who's going to come and save us. That's a very important point, because that is the hope and wish and expectation of many people who are aware of the extraterrestrial presence in the world today. Having lost faith in humanity and human leaders and institutions, they'll now look to the heavens for their salvation. And they will receive those who come, seeming to bear gifts and promises with very little discernment.
That'd be funny.
Unfortunately, this is part of our human nature that left uncorrected.
True crime cults, cyber cults, doomsday cults, or my wheelhouse. Branch Davidians, Jim Jones. I've 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 researched them all pretty extensively. It's kind of my niche.
Will lead us to make these errors in discernment continuously as it has done over the centuries.
Heaven's Gate.
Freedom on Earth and everywhere in the universe must be protected and supported. To remain free, humanity has to be self-sufficient, united.
This is basically what their YouTube channel is loaded full of, is these videos and it's readings from the books. And there was one thing I did want to show that is interesting, and this is very important. This is what makes them a little different. And this is something that I'm glad I remembered because it's very important. This is a post from one of their devoted members, Michael. He's always in the spaces reading and stuff. These books, they're all for free. He says, they're all on the internet for free. All their readings are for free. So these guys aren't grifting off literature. A lot of people joke about the buy my books, buy my books. There is no buy my books. They give them for free. They want everyone to go read them for free. And that is interesting because you wonder a lot of times with Doomsday Cyber, the C word. I don't even want to use it because I don't want to piss everybody off. But they're all about sucking in money, and these guys have to be getting funded from other sources because the literature is free. Absolutely free. Given for free. Which, yeah, I think it's an important detail. You can't chalk it up to buy my books.
And extremely discreet.
This is from the books. This is from the Allies of Humanity. I believe this is chapter 1.
But we are undermining our self-sufficiency with the overuse of our planet's resources. We are destroying our unity with intractable conflicts, and we are not discreet, broadcasting all our problems far and wide into space. Alien travelers are listening, watching. Travel in the universe is not limited by human science. Extraterrestrials are visiting us and have decided to gain control because we have developed.
These videos are actually pretty well done. Blue, that account, Blue Cran, he knows what he's doing.
Dangerous nuclear weapons and degraded the world's environment. They do not have powerful armies, but they understand our weaknesses and aspirations and can influence our thinking to overtake us without any use of force. They have made incredible promises of salvation, free energy, and advanced technology, but it is all a clever deception.
A lot of this stuff, which is very common, I mentioned this a lot with O'Leary and his ramblings, it's all part of ufology lore. All this information could be obtained from watching Ancient Aliens. These stuff about them shutting off our nuclear facilities, all of it. It's cliche. It's ufology lore. It's not secret information. When you package it like this, it can look like, wow, they're delivering a vital message, but to the uninitiated, it comes off like that. To somebody who's watched every episode of Ancient Aliens since they were 12 years old, you're just hearing regurgitated theories.
It represents
word
the
salad.
Most dangerous challenge to freedom that we have ever faced. For this reason, we need to tap into the part of us that is still connected to God. Only this deeper intelligence will enable us to remain a free race in the universe. Alien visitors are not enlightened beings here to help humanity. They belong to technological societies and have nothing to do with human spiritual evolution.
Ancient Aliens is awesome to go to bed to. It's what it. Now, I have had some wacky dreams because of it. Like, I don't know if you guys are vivid dreamers, but I'm a vivid dreamer, and if I fall asleep to things, when you're in like that REM sleep state, half asleep, half awake, I have these weird dreams, and a lot of times they'll mirror what's on the TV, whether it's a World War II movie or Ancient Aliens. And I've had dreams where I'm getting abducted because I'm watching fucking Ancient Aliens. It's in the background. It's good background noise. And I just want to remind everyone, we wouldn't have any of that. I mean, Wilcock was a huge part of all that, and I don't even think ufology would be a thing right now without Ancient Aliens. It's everything. The ufology. It's what made it mainstream.
Visitors are physical beings, vulnerable to the biological contamination of the world. They cannot live in this world, so they need us to manage the infrastructure that we have created on our own planet to use throughout their occupation plan.
Ancient Aliens regurgitates a lot of stuff. Looking back on it, it's so much B-roll and talking heads. But yeah, I probably will go back and watch a lot of them because it's got Wilcock growing up on it. It's got him way back when he was a young Wilcock.
They have taken many people against their
Back
will,
when everyone took his words seriously.
subjected them to powerful forms of mind control,
What's
and
up,
used
bro?
them to create hybrid individuals to be placed in positions of power in government, commerce, and religion. Advanced races in the universe have recognized that the ability to influence thought is a new
What's up, man? I haven't seen you in a while.
Of power that can launch a nation to positions of preeminence. People's thinking has been altered. Some have been imprinted with images of human disaster and now seek salvation from extraterrestrials. Many see this visitation as a great spiritual event, but the visitors do not value our freedom and think
their main message, the Allies of Humanity main message is they aren't here to help us. They're here for their own motives, and we need to just take control. And yeah.
We are primitive and destructive. They have no regard for our spirituality and see us as merely a tool and a resource.
It's a doomsday
As humanity's
cult.
instability increases, their offerings will become ever more persuasive because this is how...
Yeah, the first seasons are really good because they have all that new information to go over, but then they start recycling and regurgitating stuff. The first seasons are the best.
While their conflicts are exploited and their leadership is undermined.
They start having to really look for things to
Like
make
the foolish
episodes about.
Natives of so many tribes, humanity is accepting these promises and has no idea.
That's why you have episodes like Bigfoot and aliens and, you know, cryptids and aliens and
the cruelty that an alien governance would bring to the human race. If humanity's native wisdom can make it realize that this is an invasion, it has a great advantage because outright invasion is not allowed in this very civilized region of space.
They reiterate this idea that the aliens will never invade the planet. If anyone is saying they're invading, they're full of shit. They do it through manipulation and mind control, and that contradicts with O'Leary. O'Leary seems to push that they're coming in force.
If enough people become aware of the presence of the
We're gonna get to a little of that. We got time.
They must withdraw. The awareness of a deeper consciousness has not been lost within the world. That is what makes us valuable to other free races in the universe and worthy of their support. But our allies in the universe will not interfere in our affairs because they respect our sovereignty.
So when you ask them who are the allies of humanity, that's their answer. It's these beings that are our friends of humankind kind, and they're trying to inform us about the reality and help us how to save ourselves. If you ask me who are the allies of humanity, I'm going to say it's this organization on the is part of ufology that seems to be trying to shift the narrative right now.
Their assistance will be to alert us on what we need to do. We are not powerless in facing these visitors, and if we realize this great challenge, we will prevail. Nations that value their world, recognizing the danger that is upon them, will prevail. The inner power that God has given us is the foundation where our greater strength can come forth and forge human unity for the preservation of the world and our freedom. There is no greater challenge for our world, because if we fall under alien domination, all our achievements will be futile. It is no accident you are here at this time.
Me? Are you talking to me? Alright, let's jump over on X. I want to show you guys a little of how these spaces go down. This is Christina's X account. She seems to do all the messaging and Twitter spaces, the messaging on UFO Twitter. And I believe she's probably one of the higher ranking members of the Allies of Humanity. Underneath her, Marshall, she's probably pretty high up there. There's the other members during the spaces. They seem to really respect her, and they won't. She'll shut them down if they interrupt. Like, and there's also another female with dark hair that I've heard is Marshall's main Sandy, lay down. One of Marshall's main lieutenants, I guess would be the word also, but I haven't encountered her yet. Let's see. Universe and 2. I think it was up here. We got a couple spaces. That's the one. No, it's going to be farther down. The collectives. They've been having regular spaces, as you can see. And a lot of it is Marshall. This is Marshall
We're here
talking.
to help save you. Be careful. So it's not the technology as much as the mind control that's really affecting how we view them and how we respond. Without the use of force, but with mental power and persuasion, they're taking people against their will, conducting biological experiments, destroying some of the people that they take, and then they're beating program to create a hybrid version of ourselves designed.
Man, he's kind of intense there.
The supreme art of war is to subdue the enemy without fighting.
Marshall V. and Summers.
So our culture has, at least for the last...
That's the second one I'm going to do. Here it is. Wait, no, that ain't it. Man, there was one I wanted specifically. There it is. What the fuck?
All along with this, there is
Look, there they are.
As a result, the
6 minutes in, and look, everyone, there's all the loyals. You got Donald, you got Michael, immediately co-hosted, and look, Chris O'Leary was immediately up here, and
situation has become very difficult. We have seen this.
they're
elsewhere.
reading
It is
from
not a unique
the
problem for
Allies
humankind.
books now.
The
That's
greater
basically
community
what they do
presence
is they
growing.
read and then
Establishments
they
are being
stop
built
and
in
they'll
your
talk
solar
about
system
it for
to
a little
provide
bit.
a pathway for that is taking place in your midst. There are We do this without abandoning our mission, but only to place ourselves in a position where the mission can be furthered. Marshall, our messenger, is the link. We are
Marshall, our messenger, is the link.
not communicating to anyone else in the world. And
They are not communicating to anyone else in the world. So only Marshall. That's very important. That's placing him as a messiah is what it's doing. He's the mediator, only him. Don't listen to anybody else.
that is the end of the preface for the Allies Book 2. And I just want to welcome Kate Renard, FCC, and Teejay.
Oh, she shouted me out.
Make you a speaker, all of you, if you wish to to speak.
I don't come up and speak. Why I never come up and speak in these things? Well, they booted me from the last one, so it probably won't be an option anymore. But O'Leary for one hates me. He thinks I'm always trying to like make him look goofy or whatever. Which is fine. That's his right. And I feel like if I do jump up on speaker panel, it disrupts the flow. Like I just I wanna watch. I wanna
Speak. And
Excuse me, Christina, I have no idea where we are in this.
well, this is I send you the first briefings for this book too, so we haven't
Larry.
started yet. This is just an introduction which I was reading from the book, so you don't have that. I wasn't able to send that over. This is just a little introduction for the set of
O'Leary is so like willing to participate in this
second set of
stuff.
briefings.
Chris, it's actually entitled Allies Preface to the second set of briefings, and it's right before the first chapter in the second Allies book. Just FYI.
What I see is first briefing, the universe into which you are emerging. Is that wrong?
No, that's gonna be the topic for tonight. We just
Yeah, I just want to
read a
observe.
little introduction before we get into the chapter, and
Be crawling the walls, so I have a lot of respect for these.
Overall, the response is really nice and interesting. But a guy just he started asking me questions and trying to tell me all kinds of things that dilute the severity of our situation, and he just and I'll answer and explain, but if people don't
I wanted to just show how a bit of how their spaces go.
want to hear it, they're not going to hear it. I mean, the point he made was, I'll make this quick, I don't want to take up time. The point he made was, well, if they were going to take over, how come they haven't done it in all the millennias?
Oh, bro, you use the magic C word. That's the thing, bro. That's it's. What if they are a cult and Marshall is right and actually is in communication with the aliens? Like, could they both be true? But that's where you lose me, is when they say things like this Marshall guy is the only one who knows. He's the only one you can trust for real answers. Everyone else is either lying or being deceived by the evil aliens, is what they push. Well, Leary thinks he's got the truth too.
In all the millennia they've been here. Well, because they haven't been here for millennia. They've been here, they came here in the 20th century. People make the mistake of mixing up the grays with all these fables and religions from antiquity. All the same thing to them. Oh, but all you have to do is look at in detail at the stories of the Anunnaki, of Quetzalcoatl, of the Indian gods, of the Egyptian gods, of whatever the creature was.
Yeah, that's a good point. You can't trust the guy behind the curtain, right? It's the Wizard of Oz thing.
That abducted Ezekiel. Absolutely none of them. The descriptions of those beings are there, and none of them look like anything like the Greys. They bear no resemblance to the Greys. This is an invasion. Those, look, I'm not one to subscribe to primitive people's religious beliefs.
Primitive
that
peoples.
Get passed off as
Oh, you hear
mouse.
that?
It's
Primitive
funny,
peoples.
They won't believe a person today who witnessed UFOs or aliens, but they'll go back 8,000 years and
It's a good
accept
point.
whatever was written down then as fact, as evidentiary fact. It is not. Primitive people say all kinds of crazy shit, and they are not talking about the Greys. There have been visitations, probably. What do I know? I wasn't there, but I do know that this is an invasion. Those were not, or we would all be speaking.
That's what I mentioned earlier, where O'Leary talks about how it's like this invasion, but their story seems to be it's a subtle, like slow trickle takeover.
Fluent Gray right now. We're not. And it's kind of easy to point out. Listen, if the Greys have been here for millennia, where are all the abductions from the Roaring 20s? Where are all the Civil War era?
I would argue that with the Native American people talked about encountering extraterrestrials and star beings and, going way back. So, yeah.
Abductions. Or the Revolutionary War era.
There were experiences during. This is from Ancient Aliens. I'm surprised O'Leary doesn't know this. He gets most of his info from an Ancient Aliens. There was an experience with George Washington during when they were at what was it, Valley Forge, when the army was freezing at Valley Forge. He supposedly had an experience. So yeah. Somehow I know more about ufology lore than Chris O'Leary.
Or colonial America. Where are all those abductions? Where are all those hybrids? There aren't any because they were not here.
Allegedly, George Washington wrote about he had to make a decision to either disband the army and let them go home because they were getting slaughtered and they were all freezing to death. They were out of supplies. And when he was about to disband the army, he got visited by some kind of being, and they told him to stay the course. This was a pivotal point in human history, and he needed to stay the course.
I mean, they showed up in a very visible way in the wake of World War II when we became a nuclear power.
You can find it on Ancient Aliens. After, maybe I'll try to find it and put it in the comments of this video.
And mass sightings. They showed
time
up
travelers, maybe?
Big numbers. Not
who knows?
Not explaining it, but they didn't care.
The only argument with that is why didn't they go back and knock Hitler off? Like, why didn't they save us some of that trouble? Alright, I want to show what happens when outsiders come into these spaces.
We don't want them here.
To just zip in.
A lot of minds in the UFO community.
This is my buddy that just popped up on the scene. His name is Gabe. His voice is a little weird because he was going through some health issues, so just ignore that. I think it sounds badass, but
this is the sad fact of all of this. To save ourselves, we don't have to build.
Dude, O'Leary is one of those guys that speaks in facts. And he'll rip you apart and talk about how he's spent thousands of hours with aliens. And it doesn't leave you any room to move. You're going to see after this space, you got to see what he did to J Just. It was pretty wild.
a space army. We don't have to build laser cannons or rail guns or a new virus. All we have to do to stop their takeover of the world is fucking speak out. Tell everyone you know. We need to verbally, all forms of media, graffiti, posters,
Graffiti.
signs,
Graffiti.
television programs, all of it, news
Graffiti
organizations. We
aliens
have to
everywhere.
say they are here to enslave us and steal our world. We will be reduced to brainless, laboring robots. And all we have to do is
that
say
different
no.
from where we're at right now?
I knew.
So that's Gabe. This is what happens when a voice joins and pushes back.
Okay, Gabe. That's all we have to do. And we have to make it clear they must leave our world. Their help is not
Yeah, that's what Gabe
welcome.
said. That's exactly what Gabe said. He said, "Is that any different than our reality now?"
We want nothing from them. You know what
We're
we want from
mindless
them? To
automatons.
get the fuck off of Earth. And if it says we have to unify. If we can't agree on that, then we're
So
really doomed.
this was the first space I encountered where O'Leary was hanging out with the Allies, and they're really gassing him up, even though his opinions don't really jive with theirs a whole lot. Like they kind of do, I guess. There's bad aliens, but they're conflicting in a lot of ways. Their theories, but you'll notice these group, the co-hosts, and they're really, 100 emoting him, and I think they're recruiting him. This is them recruiting new members into their group, and O'Leary joined.
And even here in UFOX, we are the tiny minority. If there was a vote right now, if the Greys could take over the planet, I can name 200 people, starting with Tupacabra, who would vote for it. 300. So we've got a lot of minds to change.
So he's implying that people are too sympathetic to the aliens. Like, we want to meet the aliens, bro. No, you don't. They're evil. Hate the aliens.
But you have to have a mind to change it. But this is very frightening stuff. And it's just, if it's that simple to get rid of them, we don't have to have we don't have to have our own telepathy and antimatter cannons. We just have to tell them we don't want them here, and make sure the people outside in the greater community hear us. So it's not impossible, right?
It's not impossible, Chris. You're absolutely right. We have to voice our dislike, that do not take people against their will. Do not hybridize us, You are not welcome to just zip in and out of our airspace and our water and take our
Christina.
people and never return
I'm
them.
just gonna say it, just being honest. I really like Christina. I think it's interesting how she's able to like control this like puppeteer this little scene here. And I think the reason she's put in that position is because she's intelligent, she's capable, and yeah, a force.
you know this is not okay with us. And I see, Gabe, you have your hands up. I will call you in just 1 second. And first of all, in your heart, you have to decide, are you pro-human? Do you love your freedom? Do you
Pro-human.
care about humanity? Do you care about your children's future? Or even if you don't have children, do you care about the future of humanity, or you're completely given up? You have to know that in your heart, that where you are standing. Okay, is this okay with you, that our world
Well, what bothers me about this type of thing is if there's one species of alien, there's multiple species of aliens, probably an unlimited amount, you know? And they're all gonna have their own agendas, just like humans do. Like, we have our agenda as the human race. They're gonna have their agenda based on their point of view and their needs. If that's the case, which I have seen no proof of a world of aliens that are visiting Earth. But if that was the scenario, to say they're all bad and that's how we should approach it, besides this little, like, what they said, 9 that decided to be nice, that's stupid.
Might be overtaken and we never gonna have a free thought in our head.
I imagine some of them will be dicks and some of them will be chill, just like people.
Because the time is now.
Or
The window of
animals or
opportunity
anything else.
is gonna be short, and when people are gonna be enslaved, it's gonna be too late. What are you gonna do? You're gonna go complain to your representatives, or if you even gonna have a representatives, if not a hybrid being. So it's a very sobering situation, and I completely understand the need and the desire and the wishes to be like hoping to have like some good forces here who are gonna be fighting for our benefit, on our side, to fighting us
That's why we have
against the bad ones.
Marshall. Marshall's
And
gonna
we just
save
gonna be
us.
have to sit on the
Marshall
couch
and
and cheering
O'Leary.
for them. That's not reality. I came from that kind of illusion. Okay, I was one of those people until I woke up. And once you wake up and see the situation, you'll be like, all right, no way, Jose, you're not going to play this game. I mean, seriously, our freedom is at stake and our word is at stake. And I'm pro human. I want
She's good.
humanity to succeed and to become a free race in this universe. And I want that future for our children and the next generation and the following generation. So, yes, go ahead, Gabe.
Just a second.
Yeah,
I just wanted, just a second. How far did I get before I got?
I forgot. Michael interrupts here and is like, "How much did I read?"
Disconnected there.
You'll find out in a second when we continue. You can read it from there. But I want Gabe because he's got his hand up
I
for a
forgot
while,
about that.
so I want him to
Thank
say
you.
what he.
Thank you. I
Yes,
appreciate that.
thank you.
You know, I wanted to offer a counter argument to what you guys are speaking about because
Counter
I'm one
arguments
of
are
those
good.
people that have the different opinion than you guys. And
Yeah,
my opinion.
Listen,
Oh,
Gabe is trouble.
Look at this.
He's in the wrong group.
Chris.
Listen to this. All Gabe is trying to do is just give his opinion, and look how Chris fucking cuts him off.
I wanted to offer a counter argument to what you guys are.
I bet they were like, Chris is a good recruit. We need this guy.
Speaking about because I'm one of those people that have the different opinion than you guys. And
Yeah,
my opinion.
Listen,
Oh,
Gabe is trouble.
Chris.
He's in the wrong group.
Chris.
That's okay. Let him speak first.
He's in the wrong group. He don't belong here. He doesn't belong. Man, that one really got me. I loved how Christina cut him off though. Was like, "No, dude, he can talk."
Let him speak. Let him speak. Let him speak.
I just wanted to make the argument really quickly. My first question to everyone here would be, what exactly are we defending? Are we defending a world in which the oligarchs that currently exist, that don't care about us, don't care about how we vote, and don't care about whether we like what they do, and go to war for oil every which way without a care in the world? You know, that sacrifice children, that you do ritual sacrifices.
I don't know why O'Leary did the laugh emote there. We know now after with the leak of the Epstein files, these elitists do sacrificing, human sacrificing, child sacrificing. So for him to laugh emote, like, that's absurd. But all this stuff I'm saying about the alien invasion it's crazy.
That rape children, is that what we're defending? Is that the earth we're thinking about defending? Because I don't think that's an earth that was worthy of defending. If we are to defend earth, it should be an earth that's changed by our own ethics. Okay? And I don't think
Well, you don't have that choice.
I don't think
This
that any
is the
aliens.
earth.
I don't
It's
think
the only earth.
Okay, hold on,
and
Chris.
You're
May
so
I?
wrong.
May I
let
go?
let
No,
him
we,
let
we
him
got
let
your
him
point. You
finish,
started repeating
please.
yourself. And here's the
Please,
fact.
please.
We're talking about the
Oh
earth
my goodness, Chris,
that is
can I
filled
please?
with...
You've spoken
Chris, let him finish. Let him finish.
I was gonna say,
Michael goes, let him finish. Let him finish. Listen.
You're
may
so
I?
wrong.
May
Let
I
let
go?
let
No,
him
we,
let
we
him
got
let
your
him
point. You
finish,
started
please.
repeating yourself. And here's the
Please,
fact.
please.
We're talking about the
Oh
earth
my goodness, Chris,
that is
can I
filled
please?
with...
You've spoken
Chris, let him finish. Let him finish.
I was gonna say, and I don't believe that the Greys have
It's a
all the
childish
solutions.
argument, for Christ's sakes.
You know,
That because there are bad people in the world,
Let
we
him
should just turn
finish.
ourselves over to
Let
Chris,
become
him
alien
finish.
can I
slaves
please
so they
make the
suck
argument?
everything out of our world.
You can't keep
You
shouting
haven't
over me.
been there, Gabe.
You
You've
can't
never even
keep
seen the
shouting
fuck people
over.
say. So
Okay, guys.
I believe she removes Chris or he jumps down. This I'm just gonna show this space that we're gonna wrap it up. Jay just popped in also, and she got similar treatment.
Well, thank you, Justin. Mike, you have a hot mic. You would like to add anything?
Oh,
Michael. I take it back. I really like Michael now. I think he's awesome. Let him
Kate
finish.
Renard?
Yeah, thanks, Christina. No, I haven't got anything significant to add. Just I can't seem to find it, but just that how they were pointing out that this intervention is a commercial force as well. Like that, you know, it's they're not here to enlighten us.
This Cade Radar, he seems to be in most of the spaces too, but I'm not sure if he's part of the clique or not.
They're not here to do anything else but to take our resources, us being that, and using it commercially to fulfill their agreements, I guess. But yeah, thanks, Christina.
Kind of like the Anglos did to the Native Americans.
Hmm.
Like a
Yes,
lot like that.
exactly.
Touche.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Like
mate,
that.
that's right.
And so that's the thing is, as a minority, I'm a minority, right? You know, if I was to apply you guys' mentality, right, to Anglo people, it would be that I would have to hate you guys. That I would have to fight you to the death, and no matter who you were, because you colonized, you know, my peoples, right? But I don't have that idea because I think we can all coexist, and I think that's actually our greatest strength. Because if we're
That is probably the best way to approach it, is with the intent to coexist. How do we coexist? How do we live in the same universe where we all can prosper? This idea of approaching it with your guard up, I don't know.
gonna be in a world, in a galactic universe with different races, that's the number one thing we're gonna have to learn to do. And if we
Somebody has
can't
a
do
hot
that,
mic.
we're
Sorry,
done.
somebody has a hot mic. It's all cracking up, so it's hard to hear anybody.
Yes, it's Donald. I think he's.
I want to bring up Justin.
It's Donald Duck, and it's J Just, not Justin.
You have your hands up. If you want to come up and say something.
Yeah, I don't know. I have nothing like really uh like for me, I just
This is interesting.
look at it this way. Everything feeds off each other on Earth. It wouldn't surprise me if there is another species that is utilizing Earth for resources. We would do the same thing. Um, they might have even tweaked us a little or created us. I don't know. But like that's just the way that nature works. That's just the way it seems the universe works in general. Everything gets recycled, everything feeds off the other. Um,
Yeah, good point, Justy. Let's see what Chris has to say.
so I mean,
Yeah,
that's the reality.
Yeah, that's nature. That's nature for you. Competition for resources.
that's
Mhm.
that I agree with you. There are, other species, it's a circle of life, so we are not gonna be the
Apex
strongest.
predator, like Lou
Exactly,
said.
Yes, yes, I agree with you on that. And but I would be careful of to thinking that although humanity has been visited and the earth has been visited for a long time by different species, probably perhaps not the same one who are here. Many people think, oh, they've been here for all along, but there is no evidence that these are the same beings. And actually, humanity is at a great turning point when we developed a word. We cannot get because
Labor. Look at Maid. Maid. They're telling people to kill themselves because they want to use their very people who are weaker. And I'm just saying, like, it's just the way of the world. Humans are no better. We are no better. We even
yes,
hurt our
yes,
own,
we are we,
right?
we are exactly, humanities have many faults, but
Right. We do what we have to do to survive, just like any other species would
you
do.
know in this situation, when our word is gonna be overtaking into your home child, our time they create,
Not.
we
We
can
are
be
not.
We are,
okay.
That's
because we
Let's
absurd.
withhold the truth
So everyone agreed. Even the allies were kind of in agreement with J Just. Chris didn't like it.
from ourselves. So
It's
we
bully
are.
night. We've got two
We
bullies
are
in
our
here.
own worst enemy. Everyone's
They
their own
interrupt.
worst enemy.
what Justy, let's let Chris speak for a second, and then everybody, if you want to express something, please put your hands up so
If
it
you
can be
did catch it, Chris called her a bully. She didn't do anything.
we can hear everybody. It's important. And so please, Chris, go ahead.
Okay. Um, Justy is used. Did she leave? Yes, she would rather leave than hear what I have to say. She was
Well,
bullying me.
say it anyway.
She didn't leave. She's right there, and she just laugh emoted.
What do you have to
She
say?
was
Because we
bullying
are
me
all
this week in
here.
a group, ganging up on me. And what's his name? Is what's his name still here?
Justy is here, so she.
What's his name is most likely me. Just down on listener. Just observing, doing what I do.
Oh, she is. Okay.
She's here,
Well,
and
it's
some.
comically. It is comically pathetic to say at this point that we are our own worst enemy. Yeah, we've got problems. No shit. But we've also got enormous accomplishments. Uh and and this is our fucking world. For you to bend over and welcome these aliens. There's so many people who hate human beings. And
That's the same mentality that you could use against like immigration. To bend over and welcome these immigrants into our country. Like it's the same idea, isn't it? Well, maybe we should choose love instead of hate and walls.
there's two of them in here. It's You can hate whoever you want, but
What
this
did
is
you?
our fucking world. For you to bend over and welcome these aliens. There's so many people who hate human beings, and there's two of them in here. It's
Saying they hate human beings. There's two of them in here. What a weird allegation.
You can hate whoever you want, but
You alien loving piece of shit. It's just such a strange world, man.
I don't like it when people say we just don't know. No, Justy, you don't know. I know. I've spent 60 years dealing with these creatures face to face. I've been in the hybridization program. I just posted a chapter from my book dealing with the time I was allowed to meet my hybrid child. Granted, people like me are rare.
Oh yeah, Chris has a hybrid baby on his spaceship. He got to meet it and everything. I have that on another video.
Not unique, but I am very rare. And the fact that I managed to recover my memories makes me all the more rare and valuable to this discussion.
This is the problem here. Nobody ever tells Chris O'Leary that you're not valuable to the discussion. What we say is we're just as valuable. We're all equal. We're just people with opinions. You can't really have that with Chris because he's an alien expert. It doesn't leave any room for discussion. And that's why he fits in so well with, I don't want to use the C word, but
you and a couple of other people guess. You either know or you guess. And these are not equal viewpoints. We're not our own worst enemy. We're our second worst enemy. We're really bad. But these things are worse. They are hive-minded bug monsters who will strip away you. We're our second worst enemy. We're really bad. But these things are worse. They are hive-minded bug monsters who will strip away you. Not your clothes, but they might do that too. I mean, they do. They strip away my clothes. Everyone who gets on the table is stripped by them. But what they will really strip away is your mind. The minute they encounter you and take over your mind, they remove parts of your brain and personality. As if it was with a scalpel, they will strip away.
that's something I found interesting about these allies of disclosure spaces that I participated in or witnessed is Chris was the only one that she would allow to go on take over the space. And if you ask me, they were cultivating him. They were grooming him. And if I had to be a betting man, I would say Chris O'Leary's going to become a well-known figure in this organization known as the Allies of Humanity.
Your fear, your rationality, your ability to recognize a threat, your sense of danger.
They're thinking, how can we use this? What can we do? We need to get him promoting our stuff, the books and all that, but we can use this energy, this compassion, this talent because the guy is a good speaker. He's a comedian. He was a stand-up comedian, a comedic writer, it says in his bio.
Your sense of self-preservation and self-interest. They will take it all away from you. They will take away most of who you are, is what they will do. And when you're in their presence, they take away who you are because they don't like you and they don't respect you. They don't think we're deserving of autonomy. They don't think we have the right to say no to whatever they do to us. They will kidnap us from the time we're children. They will breed us like livestock to create our own replacements. These, you know what? Even bad people, sometimes they have good kids. And with these things in charge, there won't be any good kids. They are hijacking our evolution. They hijacked mine, and they will.
So, Gabe made the mistake of laughing, and that's when it appeared to break down. We're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. I might do a part 2 on this because there were 2 other spaces I wanted to get to. I'm gonna check the numbers on this one and see how they do. And guys, I might do a part 2 on this. I had other spaces I wanted to get to, but I just didn't have a lot of time. I ran out of time because of the Cambian stuff. So we might do a part 2 maybe later this weekend. Anybody hanging out in the live right now, if you haven't subscribed yet, please go do so. I'm trying to grow the channel. Please like, share, all that stuff. Some of my friends, bigger accounts, have been sharing my videos and they've been doing a lot better numbers. So maybe we can break out of this, cancel, what do they call it? Shadow ban bullshit that's been going on. If anyone wants to support financially, please do so at buymeacoffee.com/TJ Felony. You can do so anonymously. Just leave your name blank. And yeah, I'm going to keep an eye on these Allies of Humanity spaces and I'll monitor what is going on. I'm getting people in my DMs that are also interested in this story, and they've been around for a while, about 7 years actually, is what the YouTube channel goes back. But they only recently started growing on UFO Twitter and holding these spaces. So I think what's going on is bigger names are supporting these guys. There's some bigger names that are working with Marshall the Summers, the leader, and it's a story that's going to keep developing, I believe. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on it. I might do a couple more spaces on my next episode, like I said. I really appreciate everyone hanging out. Yeah, it was a really fun show. Everyone in the chat, thanks for supporting and being there, and just supporting me even though it comes at a cost sometimes. I really appreciate everybody who has taken shit just for being my friend. Don't think I don't see that stuff. Even people like Misanthropy and everything, like it's just, it's honorable. So, yeah, I love all you guys. You guys are awesome, and I'll keep making videos and stuff as long as people watch. I'll probably be live. Probably not tomorrow night, but maybe this weekend sometime. Might do a game stream tomorrow night, though. We'll play some Battlefield or something. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you next time. Peace out. Be good to each other. Jump over on X, at Felony Talk on X, if you want to continue the discussion. My DMs are always open. Anyone who wants to reach out to me, anybody from either story, Callie and Sarah, or anybody from the Allies of Humanity, my DMs are open. So I'll pretty much talk to anyone. Peace out.